will demonstrate how a person who had a terrible eruption on his hand. Okay. So here you see, for 23 years this man has carried this eruption. It wouldn't go. He went to all kinds of doctors, homeopathy, this, that, everything. Nothing went. Then he chanced to meet someone from SSRF, and that person told him to give him the remedy of just applying holy water and saying a mantra. And within a short time, it healed. Then what happened is that he stopped doing the spiritual remedy. He decided, I'm fine. Like most of us, no, we in between we'll say, enough now. And then again it erupted. So then of course he completed the treatment with the, saying the mantra and the spiritual remedy which was applying. There's one thing that I wanted to make you understand is that there are two kinds of remedies. This is one kind. Can you go back, please? Applying a spiritual remedy. But the much more important one is raising the spiritual energy within us. If we raise the spiritual energy within us, then it's like a protective layer around us. So nothing can penetrate. And that means giving time and energy and trying to imbibe God in us. So raising the spiritual energy within us is actually the superior way. Can I have the third slide? Next one. So here you see a person who's been doing spiritual practice, which means chanting the name of God, going to satsangs, doing satseva, tyag, priti, those kind of things. And he has built up an aura around him. He is now at a 40% spiritual level. Look what happens when a negative or a distressing energy or a ghost, whatever you want to call it, but he's only at 25%. When he tries to attack this person, look what happens. He can't attack this person. So supposing a person is at the level, spiritual level of 20%, which most human beings in this room, all of us are around 20%. And someone does something to us, we react, get angry. How did that anger come to us? It was that spirit that helped, that pushed us into that, get angry. Because this anger is also built up in that spiritual energy, that negative energy. So it tries to make us get angry. But a person who's like a saint or a spiritual person, even if someone should say something to him, even if someone should harm him, he'll be in that, those phases she told you, Anand and bliss and peace, that's the area they are in. They are not affected because of that spiritual protection. I'll give you a short story. There was this saint who used to go to the river every day for a bath. And there was this other man who just hated the saint for no reason. He just hated the saint. So every time the saint went there, he would spit on him, throw dirty water. But the saint would just go away, go and bathe again in the river, come back. Again he would spit and throw dirty water. Again the saint. So this went on and on till that negative energy, that man couldn't take it. He couldn't believe that I have been spitting on you, I have been throwing dirty water on you, still you're not saying a word to me. And of course, that man's spiritual energy, that saint's spiritual energy was so high that it overcame the negative energy in that other person. And he fell at his feet and said, So what happens is that continuously in everything in life, there's good and bad, there's high and low, there's fat and thin. Similarly in life there is good energy and not good, distressing energy. And the good energy can repel the negative energy. So how can we protect ourselves? And why should we protect ourselves? And what is the whole idea of this lecture? the idea of this lecture is that we want to be in bliss. We want to be in that happy, contented, peaceful state. All of us. Why? Because we have God within us. And because we have that God within us, we want to be continuously happy. But when we get these negative energy attacks, that takes away from our happiness. So what can we do to be in that blissful state constantly? How is the saint always in that blissful state? Because he's constantly thinking of God. He doesn't use his own mind. It is the universal mind or the mind of God that is working through him. So spiritual practice helps to build up spiritual energy. And this in turn becomes a protective armor against attacks by negative energy. So even if somebody comes and says, you're a this, you're a that, you're a whatever, you'll be in your peaceful state because you have this spiritual armor around you. And of course, before one goes to a haunted house or something, you would obviously want to say prayers, you would want to chant God's name. Why? As a protection. So many people have holy beads, have holy anklets and bracelets. Why? Because those things are embedded with some spiritual energy, and we know that they are going to protect us. So along with spiritual practice, we take the name of God according to your own religion. So if you are a Hindu, you would take your Kul Devi or Kul Devata's name, and Christians would take Hail Mary or Hail Jesus. Muslims would take Lord Allah's name. So you continuously take the name of God according to your religion. So now a lot of people, in fact, we had some pictures where there were pictures of distressing energies. These were drawn by a lady in our organization who has the sixth sense. She's actually able to see the subtle. So we feel, no, I don't want to have anything to do with this negative energies, ghosts, etc. It's very frightening. I don't want anything to do with it. That's a normal reaction because we think it's evil. But the point is, supposing there was a manhole and you had to walk, and you said, no, I don't want to know about the manhole. Is this sensible? In this case, ignorance is not bliss. It is stupidity. We should know the different problems that can arise through these negative energies. And then we can take the appropriate protective steps to help us to either to repel them or to avoid them. So I should stay away from finding out about ghosts? They won't bother me? No, not true. By being aware of negative energies, it will not, you will be able to protect yourself. Just by saying that I don't believe in negative energies, you're not going to be protected. They're still going to be there. It's just that you won't have the ability to protect yourself. So on the contrary, it becomes easier for a negative energy to affect people who are ignorant about ghosts and distressing energies. Because then they won't take the protection. They won't take do the appropriate spiritual practice. So we don't realize it, but most of the problems we face today have their origin in the spiritual realm. More than 80% of our problems start from the spiritual realm. I'm going to give you an example. You have a stomachache. So if it's a physical problem, of course you've eaten something off the road, so you'll obviously take antibiotics or whatever to help you ease the pain. If you have a very exacting boss who you are really scared of, then what will happen? You'll feel psychologically scared and upset. So you will take maybe stress-relieving type of cures, or you would perhaps, if it's very bad, go to a counselor. There's another aspect, which is the spiritual aspect. Now these are not mutually exclusive. Means if you have a stomachache, it could be a stomachache at the physical level, but it could also be at a spiritual level. There have been cases with people that we've studied where they went in they thought it was a gallbladder operation or whatever. But when they went for the operation and the prayers and the healing happened, there was no need for the operation. Because of the spiritual aspect, they took the spiritual remedy. So they didn't need to do the operation. So what are the remedies that we can take to overcome problems of negative energies? Here are a list, and we're going to show you some of the slides. So one of them is just taking a bucket of water, a tub of water, and taking a fistful of salt, which is the kitchen salt, the normal salt, not the table salt, the rough salt. Put it into the bucket, into the tub, and then put your feet in this. People abroad do this because they think physically it's excellent, it helps them. But there's a spiritual reason. The salt actually takes away the negativity. And that is why you're feeling so much better. So you chant, as you can see over here, with your feet steeped in this water, you chant, and the salt is removing the negative energy. In our organization, we have incense sticks. And we all are very, very, we rely on these a lot. I'll tell you why. These incense sticks, when they are lit, they actually emit Chaitanya. She talked about Shakti, Chaitanya, divine energy, all these things. These incense sticks can actually fight the negative energy in a room. And that is why we light them. Now this picture was drawn by a girl who has this ability to see the subtle. So you can see that she has drawn these golden lights, golden waves, golden balls, all this emitting from this incense stick and attacking the negative energy. And what is the result? That you get frequencies of bliss, you get divine consciousness, you get particles of bliss. So you're surrounded, and what happens when you're surrounded by this? You feel very contented and very peaceful. What we also do is we collect the ash. We don't throw it away, it's very precious. So we collect this ash after we've lit the incense stick, and then we apply this ash to our chakras. The Ajna chakra, the heart chakra, the Muladhara chakra, the various... How does it help us? If you have a feeling of restlessness, if you're feeling very tired, you have a headache, you're not feeling up to much, you try this. Just apply the ash. What happens is that because you apply it, the holy ash, on your forehead, it starts emitting divine frequencies, waves, little balls of vibrations, which help to dispel the negativity. When you have a headache, it's very likely that there is some negative energy around you. You apply this and see what happens. Another way in which you can remove the negative energy in a room is to take that ash from the incense stick and then blow it. Just blow it in all directions. And what will happen is that once again all the frequencies of bliss and divine consciousness, divine energy, all that starts radiating in the room, and it actually destroys the negative energy. In fact, you can see stage 1, the positivity is only 2% and the negativity is 4%. Stage 2, what happens is that the negativity is and the positivity are about the same. But stage 3, the negativity has been destroyed by the positivity. So you see what we can do by actually using things that we have been given. We can actually very simply help ourselves to be in a happy mode, to be in a blissful mode, very simply.